Stefan Struve versus Ben Rothwell takes place this weekend on the main card of UFC on ESPN 7, Washington DC Overeem versus Rozenstruik. It's going to be a great fight, and when you're really making predictions for two veterans of the game that have had their wars, they've had their knockout losses, they've had many a loss in their career, and this might be where they're ending their career. Very important to take everything else out of it. Skill does not matter because, let's be honest, we've seen what they have to offer. There's no variables on what someone's going to pull out. Struve's probably going to win if Rothwell sits in his guard. Okay? And Rothwell's probably going to win if he can put the pressure on Struve on the feet and make Struve back up, because for a 7-foot tall guy with the longest reach, I believe, in the UFC, he is fucking shit on his feet, okay? He has no idea what he's doing with his hands. Doesn't know how to throw a jab. Longest reach in the UFC, I think. Doesn't know how to throw a jab. The massive reach advantage here. That's not going to make a difference because Struve is shit. Now, I want to play a little numbers game with you here. And I like to do these numbers games when you're talking about veterans. I'm definitely going to play some numbers games, but this is a tough one for Ben Rothwell, but I think he's going to get it done. The chin of Ben Rothwell, definitely in his favour. Against Struve, I believe. I mean, he's lost 7 times by KO, TKO. You look at that. Let's just look at the wins and the records in general. 36-12 compared to 29-11. Both of these guys have been doing it for a very long time. They've both fought some of the best in their times. Maybe not now, but when they fought them, those were the best guys there were. Okay, and I credit that. And you look at Ben Rothwell. Way more experience. The age is on Stefan Struve's side, but to be honest with you guys, I feel like age is a factor only when one guy's just burst onto the scene. You know? Like when, in terms of career length, they both had similarly long careers. Obviously, Ben Rothwell's been around for a little bit longer in the mainstream side of things, but even still, I mean, Ben Rothwell's going to take this one, I think. I really think he's going to put the pressure on Struve and flatten his fucking head. I really do. Struve has no chin. And I hate to say it, but it's true. He really doesn't have a good chin. And his one win is against Marcos Rogerio de Lima by arm triangle choke. And I will have you know, before he got that submission, he was getting destroyed. Okay? Marcin Tybura beat him. That's a bad loss. A real bad loss. Especially what we've seen happen to Marcin Tybura now, especially. Because Augusto Sakai just flattened him in the first round. Andrei Arlovski lost to him. Way more impressively. Like Ben Rothwell versus Arlovski was a bit of a war. But even still, I mean, these are bad losses. Alexander Volkov isn't even that bad. But he got destroyed by him on the come-up. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the wins on Stefan Struve's record. Daniel Emelianenchuk. You know? Antonio Silva. Cool. Off TRT. It means nothing to me. It absolutely means nothing. I look at the wins of Ben Rothwell recently and I see Josh Barnett, Matt Mitrione, Alistair Overeem, Brandon Vera. Just those 4 names. Let me know where this guy still can be in his career. He's lost to Andrei Arlovski. It was a great fight, but Arlovski obviously won. Blagoy Ivanov is a savage, and we just saw that against Derek Lewis. I could have personally thought that Ivanov would have won that fight against Derek Lewis. Could have gone either way. The fight with Blagoy Ivanov and Ben Rothwell, a lot of people thought Ben Rothwell got robbed. A lot of people thought that. And Junior Dos Santos loses a unanimous decision. Look what JDS has been doing to a bunch of guys. Derek Lewis flattens him out. Lewis didn't even look like he belonged in there with him. But Ben Rothwell can go 5 decently good rounds, even though he's losing them. I like Ben Rothwell here. I think he's still in a good point in his career. Never mind. Let me just take that statement back. He's not in a good point in his career. Neither of these guys are. But I feel like in terms of who's still got it, Ben Rothwell is definitely the guy who's still got it here. You're talking about a guy in Stefan Struve with, what's his fucking reach? Let me see this shit. 214 centimeter reach. That's a 15 centimeter reach advantage over Ben Rothwell, and I guarantee you it plays no factor in this fight whatsoever. I guarantee you that. That will mean nothing. That stat will mean absolutely nothing. I look through the career again, and I play a bit more of the numbers game. I see 36-12. I see 29-11. It's a better ratio for Rothwell, but to be honest, neither of them are great records, but they're still quite similar records. I look at Ben Rothwell, 36 with 27 KO TKOs. I mean, the finishing rate of Stefan Struve is a little bit better, but even still, I just don't like it, man. I don't like it for Stefan Struve. I really don't. I look at the KOs and Ben Rothwell, who's had a much longer career and is a much older guy and should have more wear and tear on him by default. 4 KO TKOs. You look at Stefan Struve, 7 out of 11 losses. I buy KO. And they aren't even like bad. I'm not talking TKOs. Like, the amount of times we see Stefan Struve get fucking flattened is a bit too much. And I feel like he's going to get flattened by Rothwell. And it's going to be a bad choice for him to return to the cage. Listen, Ben Rothwell never said he wanted to retire. Never said he wanted to retire. He got caught on some kind of steroid, came back after 2.5 years, 3 years-ish, against Blagojev and looked fairly decent and went to a razor-close decision. Then you look at Stefan Struve. The only reason he took time out of the game was because he didn't want to do it anymore. You know? That's the only reason he took time out of the game. Was because he didn't even do it. Didn't want to do it anymore. He even in his last fight, with his last win, put his gloves in the center of the octagon. And said, I'm done, but I'm not sure. I don't like that mindset. I feel like he's going to get absolutely flattened. The skyscraper will fall to the ground. 9/11 style. Ben Rothwell gets the KO finish. Click that button there. Like and I shouldn't have made that joke. I'm sorry, Americans. Like and subscribe. Too soon? Maybe it was a little bit too soon. See you later.